Good evening, everyone. Nathan here. We are underway in just a few moments. Nice to see you all again. Tonight we're talking all things marketing in 2017. It's going to be a good time tonight. We are doing an encore presentation of the last session. We talked about all things marketing. Last session we didn't get into the nitty-gritty details. We had such a big recap of the previous session. So we've been asked to do an encore session tonight and focus more on the marketing side of things. It is one of my favorite subjects, so I'm happy to oblige. We'll be talking about marketing this week. I've got a special announcement for next week. There's a few things going on at the moment, so excited to be telling you guys about all of that. We'll get into that very shortly. I'll let a few guys, more of you come in if you are watching us live, rapidexecutive.com/live to jump in on the chat and say hello. If you are watching us on the replay, rapidexecutive.com/replay, and you can grab all of the notes and you can even have a chat to me. We'll be underway in just a moment. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Rapid Startup Online Series, training series where we're talking all things startups. We go through the 7 steps, 7 days to go live. Tonight we are talking about marketing. Again, it's a special encore presentation this evening. Looking forward to getting into it. One of my favorite subjects is marketing, so I'm happy to oblige to those who asked for an encore on this. We did touch on it last week. We ended up in our hour session. I think we had about 11 minutes when I hit the slides on marketing. We had such a big recap from the previous week. So I'm looking forward to getting back into it again tonight. So you'll see the slides are very similar to last week's, but we will fly through until the marketing session this evening. So we're going to get back into everything, all things marketing in just one more minute. Just finalizing the last of the details here, getting us up and ready, waiting for a couple more people to come in. If you are watching us live, rapidexecutive.com/live. You can watch us on the screen there. You've got a little chat box. You can even watch and chat on your phone at the same time. If you're watching this on the replay, rapidexecutive.com/replay, we'll take it to the same spot. For this session, for the next couple of days, the replay will be up and you can grab all of the notes from tonight's session on that page as well. G'day, Shane. Nice to see you. We'll be underway in just one more sec. All right. G'day, Dave. Nice to see you. Hi there, Luke. How are you? Great to see you all, guys. All right, we are underway. Let's cut back to me so I can say g'day and talk all things. Good evening, everyone. I'm breaking a cardinal rule this evening. I am drinking coffee at 8 p.m. in the evening. I have so much going on right now. Excited to get into all of that and what's been happening. I'm also excited to get into marketing again this evening. My name is Nathan. I run the Rapid Startup online sessions, online training that we do every single week. This is the second week of our second year of doing one of these every single week. I actually run 2 webinars a week. Great fun, great for your business. If you are interested in growing your business, webinars are a great way to do that. But we talk all things startup. We get into all the nitty-gritty details. We go through a 7-day process. We're actually following the Dan Norris 7-day startup process to go from 0 to launch in less than a week. Nice to see you all. Say good day. Let me know where you're coming in from. I see Shane. I see Luke. I see David. And I see coffee. If I had to tell you all of the things that I've got to get done before I go to sleep tonight, it'll be tomorrow. So let's leave it at I'm extremely busy, and I'm breaking a rule. I never drink coffee after 3 p.m. usually. If I have to, it's sometimes 3:30, but usually I don't drink coffee this late. So it's gonna be a bit crazy. It's a bulletproof coffee. There's plenty of fat in there. I'll be okay. I'm not gonna die. I hope. So we are talking all things marketing this evening. This is day 5 of this 7-day startup framework that we follow for all of our sessions. Each of these sessions, basically every week, we'll go through one of the 7 days in the 7-day startup framework. We obviously have, we've started with that as a bit of a framework, and then we've thrown in a whole bunch of our other stuff. So we've got examples of businesses we've started ourselves, businesses that people in the group have started as well. We are part of an in-person meetup that runs every fortnight down here in Perth. But then we have these online sessions that anyone is able to join for free. Now, if you are on the rapidexecutive.com/live page, you can grab all of the notes from tonight's session. So everything you see in the slides that are coming up is available for you there. That's a free download. You just press the blue button and it gives you a PDF. Nice and easy. And the chat box is on there for you to say hi. Let me know where you're coming in from. As I said, my name is Nathan. I run these sessions every single week, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Western Standard Time. So whack it in your diary. Jump on the email list at rapidexecutive.com/webinar, and you'll get invited to all of these sessions. So tonight is lesson 5, marketing. So we have talked a whole bunch of things up to this point. We've got 2 lessons left until we wrap back around to the start again. And we had about 11 minutes, I think, last week when we got down to the first slide of marketing out of the hour. So a special wrap up this week of marketing. Again, I'll dive back into some of the details around the marketing. I'm going to fly through some of the previous notes. So without further ado, let's get into tonight's episode, and we will share across the notes and jump straight in. So these notes, as I said, are available on the slide. So the 3 myths of online marketing that we break down in these sessions is finding customers is a long and difficult process. Converting these customers requires one-to-one or in-person touch points. A lost customer is a lost customer. Stick around until the end and I'll show you a marketing experiment that I performed myself. The reason for last week's session taking so long is we have such a big recap on the build your website. It's definitely the most popular out of all of these, day 4. A lot of people spend a lot of time, and usually too much time, hence the framework itself. Try and spend 1 day on each of these. Otherwise, you are going to get stuck and your business will never get off the ground. So the 3 myths of building a website were technical, nerdy skills are required, 10 plus tools and loads of cash, and takes time to build traffic. So what is the 7-day startup up. So the 7-Day Startup, one of my favorite books written by one of my favorite Aussie entrepreneurs, Dan Norris. Basically, how to go from zero to launch in less than a week. Ideation, is your idea any good? MVP, can you find a buyer? Name your thing, coming up with something catchy and the right name for your piece. Build your site, get some marketing, work out what's going to be successful, what metric you're going to measure, and then launch. Calculate that metric. Nice and easy. So, does this work? Can you launch a business following this book? Absolutely. So, I have started several. Butter Coffee was my first one. We replicated that nutrition business a couple months later with a matcha tea business. My latest one is funnelfixit.com, which is an unlimited sales funnel service gurus, bunch of ninjas that fix all your sales funnel things for your website for one simple monthly fee. We kicked that off at the start of January, and I started marketing that at the end of February. And I don't think I've slept in the last couple of weeks. It's been chaos. It's been good fun, great fun. It's definitely the coolest idea I've come up with, because it's something I really love doing. I love being involved in this business. I love growing this team out. The customers are outstanding. We have some fantastic customers. We have some really, really successful customers as well. They hand over the keys to something like 300 sales funnels with hundreds of thousands of visitors and millions of dollars in sales, and say, can you just tweak this and fix this? And wow, this is awesome. Anyway, I'm very humbled by that. Anyway, so yes, this model does work. This goes on and on. I've launched books, I've done courses, I've launched an Amazon brand following the same methodology, which is actually the subject of our second webinar this evening from 9 p.m, where we talk about all things physical products and launching products on Amazon as well under the junglebooster.com brand. But we'll get into that later on. So yes, this model definitely works. Round one was ideation. I put this slide in every week for anyone that's new here that wants to establish what effectively their business model is at a very, very high level, with some real world examples that give you an idea. If you've got an idea, but you're not exactly sure where that idea sits or how you could monetize that, this is a fantastic slide with some fantastic stories behind those. You can go and have a look at those. So we definitely start with our why and the reason, because if you do what you love, as I mentioned before, you'll never work a day in your life. I saw a very, 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 very funny post in response to me trying to motivate somebody on Facebook the other day around doing what you love and always checking in with your why before moving forward on something. And this person said, in response to this quote that I put in there, okay, I think I need to go and start doing porn, which I thought was hilarious. I won't name names. Okay, day one was ideation, and Dan Norris provides an excellent 9 elements of a bootstrapped business checklist inside the book. We've listed them out there, nice and easy. You can follow up on those by checking out tonight's notes. We went through this in great detail in a previous session. As I mentioned before, we went through those 4 common business archetypes. Most businesses would fit. 99% of businesses would fit inside of those archetypes, but you're probably more familiar with the subtypes, like a coach or a freelancer or a designer, artist, that sort of thing. So that's what that comes from. And last but not least, on ideation, the most important thing I can tell you to do with your idea is talk about it. Now, lots of people come to our meetup sessions and they tell us that we've got this fantastic idea. It's going to completely game change everything. It's a complete disruptor in the X industry, but I can't tell you anything about it. So I guarantee you, if you jump onto something like Product Hunt, there's loads of sites like this. There are 10 people or more working on your idea already. So get out there and talk about it, actually execute, and then you might stand a chance of actually being successful. Day 2, validation. So in the book, it's called WTF is an MVP. So we talk about minimum viable products, minimum viable solutions, and the difference between a prototype and a minimum viable product. So what we want is actually to get to a minimum viable solution. What is something you can put in front of a potential customer? Now you're testing your market. So is this a potential customer itself? But you're also testing the solution to what the customer's problem or pain point is. So what is the absolute minimum you can get in front of somebody to be able to validate your idea? I put some additional validation examples there. These links are clickable as well off to blog posts for various people. Recommend going and reading those. And the last thing on validation is the best type of validation is someone to pull out their wallet and actually give you some cash. So if you can get a sale, pre-sale, using, you can even use something like Gumroad. It's a free service. You can put your product up, set a date and start marketing it. And if you set the date in the future, you are technically pre-selling your idea. They will hold on to the funds for you, but effectively when you go live, those funds will be released to you. So you could say, I'm going to write a book. Its scheduled release date is 3 months from now. And if you can sell enough to warrant you actually sitting down and writing that book, then why not? It's a great way to validate. Day 3, naming. So it's impossible to find a name or a social media profile. They're all gone. They're all picked. They're all taken. So one note on this, and this is from the book, every one of the top 25 brands in the world is 12 characters or less. Now, top 25 brands in the world changes on a daily basis, especially with the current economic climate, but I'm pretty sure that's actually still correct. We talked through some of the legalities around naming and how you can find that, whether or not it's a good idea to brand yourself. So nathanshearer.com. If I'm going to be selling physical products in a certain niche, and my exit strategy is to sell that to a large retailer, if I call my website nathanshearer.com, it's not going to be the easiest thing to sell to somebody else. Second last thing on naming, just to wrap this one up, there is an awesome tool called namechk.com, namecheck.com, without the EC and the check, which is a great way to go and find all of the domains for your business name, the .coms, the .dets, the .cos, the .ios, all that sort of stuff that are still available. And it actually also checks out all of the social profiles and sees if there's available as well. Really, really awesome. All right, last one on the naming your thing. The guys over at fizzle.co, it's an awesome podcast that runs every week. I've learned so much about business, about being real in business and having real connections with your customers. These guys really know how to run a great business and how to help people run said great businesses. They have an awesome article on how to pick the ideal name for your business. It's funny and it's also very, very, very good. So go check out that. All right. Also on day 3, we talked about legalities and all of that fun stuff, accounting, setting up a business. You can do that online these days with an awesome tool called incorporator.com.au in less than 60 minutes to become a PTY Ltd here in Australia. If you are looking at doing overseas transactions and on scale, then I recommend starting a US company. You can do something like that with Stripe Atlas. Doesn't require you to venture over to Delaware. They'll do it all for you online. And also, if you are looking for better ways to transact globally as well, I currently have some income coming from the UK, from the US and Canada from my businesses, and the fees that I pay Stripe and PayPal are obnoxious, absolutely obnoxious. So I'm paying inbound transaction fees and outbound Forex fees and outbound transaction fees, all just to get some money transferred across me. It's crazy. So there's an online bank called World First, and their transaction fees are extremely low, and their transfer fees for currency exchange really, really cheap as well. Anyway, we went through that on day 3, and everyone's favorite subject, not mine. Definitely automate your accounting. All right, Let's get a quick run through. We're already 25 minutes in, but let's have a quick run through of the build your site myths. Websites are hard and they cost lots of money. We showed you exactly how you can break down a competitor or someone you like. So if you find a website that you like and think, oh, wow, I could be this, but for Australia, or I could be this, but for model cars, you can use a tool like Built With and find out exactly what the underlying platforms that these businesses are using, everything down to the fact that they're hosted on HostGator and they're using WordPress, etc. You can even find out more details about their WordPress, their website as well. So you find a nice looking website and think, oh, I'm going to build a blog like this. It's going to look exactly like that. It's brilliant. I love it. Wonder what theme they use. You can check out whatwpthemeisthat.com. It'll tell you not only what the theme is, if it's a publicly available theme, even if it's paid, but it'll also tell you the plugins that it has as well. So if it's using special, this would be a plugin here for the social icons and things like that. It'll tell you what they are. You turn those plugins on and basically your site should look almost the same out of the box. All right, so how do you find your traffic? How do you find your customer? So we briefly touched on some of the ninja tactics where you can reverse engineer what your current competition is doing. So if you find someone that's doing something you want to be doing, there are some tools like SimilarWeb and SEMrush. You can actually go and put in your competitors or where your potential customers are, even if you're not going to be competing with them. If a business has your audience already, you can go and find out where they're getting that audience from and potentially get in front of that as well with tools like SimilarWeb and SEMrush. And lastly, on websites, how do you write content? Don't guess. Again, go where the fish are. So if you have a key word, like, for example, in this one, Amazon Echo, and you wanted to go and find out what sort of content to write, what's popular, what's been shared around at the moment, that's the best kind of content. Find stuff that's already working, find headlines that are already working, getting clicks for emails and things like that. There's a great tool called buzzsumo.com. It's really awesome. You can go and put in, you can even put in the competitors' websites and actually see what content they've been producing, see what's been popular out of their articles and recreate those yourself, but do them better. All right. We then dove into actually how to build landing pages. The cheapest one we've found that'll get you up and running in a few minutes for zero cost is using the built-in landing page email login forms from MailChimp, where you can start and build a really simple landing page to collect email addresses without even buying a URL. You can buy a URL and actually redirect it to MailChimp as well. So you'll have yourname.com /login or something like that. That'll take you to a landing page like this. That'll say, hey, we're coming soon. Please put in your email address and we'll get you on our list. So we then broke down what a landing page is: title, byline, image, content, and call to action. The big one being, I want to give you as little information as possible to let you know that I have your solution. You are in the right place. Please take this action and I will help you solve that solution. You'll see a nice, easy, simple one there. And we actually built that in WordPress. If you need inspiration for landing pages, there's a great free site called landingfolio.com. There's another one called swiped.co. There's another great place to go and see landing page examples that are doing well. All right, we got into some details on that, how to get your website hosted, whether you're a professional or a beginner. We worked out how to make it pretty using themes. We scolded you for having too many plugins on your website, which can slow you down and cause all sorts of security risks. We're seeing all sorts of these things at the moment creeping up as more and more businesses are getting online, and the bounty for hacking those is getting higher and higher. But we have a minimum list here of plugins. You'll need something for your email provider, definitely something for Google Analytics and Yoast. And I would also add the Pixel Your Site plugin for Facebook as well. And last thing on websites was building landing pages that are automated and a bit more technical. So an end-to-end landing page with advanced functionality like membership sites, like webinars, like sales funnels that can take purchases and all that sort of stuff, lead people through different upsells and downsells and things like that. You can look at things like optimized press, lead pages, or ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is the new kid on the block. I tried using optimized press for a couple of years there. It just, the limitations got to me. Lead pages was all sorts of pain. As a bit of a nerd, I really didn't like how poorly the pages were put together. And then I stumbled upon ClickFunnels about 1.5 years ago and have absolutely fallen in love with that. Definitely the best tool in the world at the moment for building a business from scratch online. It can give you everything from webinar software to landing page software to carts, checkouts, memberships, affiliates, all that sort of stuff, all in one tool. Really, really brilliant. So I gave you some examples of some of the landing pages and sales funnels that I have built using ClickFunnels. A network marketing one we built out for one of our businesses that was really, really awesome at blowing up our network marketing business without actually having to do any of those in-person or bug your family and friends type arrangements, which has been really great. All right, let's get down to business marketing in 2017. All right, 3 online marketing myths. Marketing is expensive. Advertising is expensive. Social media is confusing and takes too much time. And all this measuring, tracking, ROI, and follow-ups is all a bit too much for me. All right, in this session, we talk market strategy and tools. And in our follow-up session, which will be next week, we go a little bit more of a deep dive on this stuff and talk about some of the technical marketing like copywriting, some deep dive into email list building, sales funnels, and automation, how you can build an automated lead generation, capture, and value ladder ascension system. Lots of different words in there. That's lots of techno babble. But we go deep on this stuff next week. So we'll talk a little bit how copywriting can be done for probably 1/10 of the cost you think it might cost you. We talk about what a sales funnel is. We talk about how to automate the lead systems around you so that you're not constantly chasing customers or chasing your tail on where people are and all that sort of stuff. And we'll go into that in our next session as well. So what is the marketing that you're going to be doing? So there's 3 key strategies to the marketing, which is the content. Number 1, absolutely, the content is the most important thing. Actually having a strategy, and also the tools. One of those tools being social media, but we'll cover that and a bunch of other things as well. So we go through the different types. Now, I am a huge fan and have been for a very long time of Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V. One of his most famous quotes is, everyone needs to be a media company. So everyone is a media company first. Then you are a plumber. Then you are a online store. Then you are a singer. You need to be a media company first, because everything comes down to getting attention. And to do that, you need content. Content is the most important component of that. So how do we create content? The second book from Dan Norris is called Content Machine. This basically, he wrote the first book on how to start your business, and then he grew his business by building content machines. So these systems to build out strategy, marketing and content strategy, and then have that thing build and grow as a machine. It's absolutely blown up every single business he's done. He's taken this whole system and done it over and over and over again. So he's done a brewery, he's done more books, he's done courses, he's done masterminds, all sorts of stuff. and it's all built around the same premise. So getting from 0 to launch in 7 days and then building content machines to promote those businesses. So brilliant book. Now, if you build your systems, where do you get your content ideas from? So I mentioned this a little bit earlier in the website section, which was how to find content for your website. Or same thing for your marketing as well. So you can use your own content. You can put your keywords in to BuzzSumo. You can put your competitors' content, your competitors' keywords, all that sort of stuff into buzzsumo.com, and it will return the popular by popularity by social network shared articles. If you find an article that has been wildly shared on a topic of your choice, then it might be a good idea to have a look at the headline and recreate a better, if you can, article on that subject. All right, so what is your strategy? The number one question to ask yourself is, who are you marketing to? Now, normally you would think, oh, this is the target market part of the thing. This is where I build my customer avatar, right? Yes, that's the start of it. But I want to take it a little bit further. I want you to think not only about your target market, but who is your best customer? So my target for one of my e-commerce stores is actually quite broad. And when I go to market, I have to think a lot more narrow to be able to have that message. So if I have an elderly, like let's say one of my target markets is grandma who wants to have more energy to play with her kids, her grandkids. I'm not going to market the same to her as one of the other big segments of my market, which is CrossFit dudes. So they both are regular customers of mine for very similar products for very different outcomes. There is no way that I can have the same marketing go to those people. So that's my target customer, getting narrow on who the right person is, and then going after a group of those like-minded people. But when it comes to your best customer, if I look at a cross-section of my customers, now it's not necessarily the markets within them or the segments of the markets in them that gives me the best. I find that my best customers are the ones that order from blog posts. So the blog posts that we do are very content heavy. They're very helpful, very human written articles that naturally lead to solutions with health problems or health and performance stuff. So it's not necessarily you've got arthritis, you need this. It's more you're wanting more energy, or you need a little bit more of an edge at work, things like that. These are some of the common issues with that, and here's some really simple solutions. Now, some of those solutions we provide, some of those solutions we don't. And that's kind of how the article's written. We will find that people who come through, new customers that come through, that read those articles, they go off to buy the book, it's the intro products, and then maybe an upsell. They are the best customers because they've kind of bought into the whole ethos. They haven't just heard that there's this one new coffee and they come across and they're annoyed by the price and they email me straight away and can I have a discount and can I have this, and they want one thing and they're annoyed about shipping and can they come and pick it up and all that sort of stuff. I've had someone who has rang me from an hour and a half away that said, hey, I'm only an hour and a half away. Can I drive to you and pick up a $20 item? So an hour and a half here and an hour and a half back. I'm pretty sure that would cost about the same amount of money in petrol. So they are not my best customer. I'm going to be wasting a lot of time that I could be spent on helping other customers who are in my best customer list. So I don't think that's being mean. I don't think that's not providing good customer service. I think that's providing great customer service. But I'm going to market to my best customer all day. Now, the where, what, and the how. So where do we find the fish? Where do we find our customers? Where do they hang out? Are they hanging out in forums? Are they hanging out on Facebook with the other 1.9 billion people? Are they hanging out in blogs? Who has them already? And that is not only competition, but influencers as well. And I'll get into that in just a moment. Another quick story on finding customers. So when we launched our first 7-day startup way back in August of 2014, wow, that's almost 3 years ago. That's awesome. We found our first customer on the forum that was put together by the company that was doing our first products. So they had an online forum where customers could jump on and ask questions. And I went on and searched. This was a US-based company, US-based products, and not really very well serviced here in Australia. So I jumped on, I typed in Australia in the forum search bar, and I got something like 5,000 results. It's like, whew, okay. Now, some people would say, oh, it's crazy. There's no way I'm doing that. And then start and try something else. I didn't. I thought, wow, that's 5,000 potential conversations I could have with potential customers. So I started. I probably spent about 3 hours going through forum post after forum post after forum post. And I realized that I wasn't going to be able to make a huge impact on 5,000. And in my search, I found a couple of common questions like, how do we get grass-fed butter here in Australia was one of the products in the niche. So what I did was I changed my my profile footer, which you can do. I put our business name, our website inside there. So that's also a good thing for SEO as well, just as a side point. But whenever I reply, then that footer would come up against my name. People could click on it and click through and find out who I was and all that sort of stuff. So I went in with the idea of helping people. I never once mentioned my business. They could see it in my footer. And I went through and I actually narrowed down on, I know where to get this butter from. I'm going to go and search Australia and butter, which I think returned about 30 results. And I went and basically went in and helped out those 30 blog comments or forum comments. Lo and behold, this is day 7 of the 7-day startup, and we got our first sale from someone in that forum. And that customer, funnily enough, is actually still with us and still orders the exact same product. He's actually, funnily enough, about 7 streets from our house. We never actually spoke about where we were. We just talked about that. He saw my link. He told me later on that he found my help very useful. He clicked on to find out anything more about me, saw the website link, clicked the website link and thought, oh, wow, I didn't realize that there was another place selling this. I'm going to purchase it from you. And that was our first customer. So let's talk influencers versus competition. Now, you might be second to market or 10th to market and be trying to take a piece of the competition pie. Another way, you could also might not have that much competition, but you might find that there are people that already have your customers. And that's where we talk a little bit about influencers. So influencer marketing is still talked. This was, I think, a year and a half ago. Nathan Chan wrote an article about how he blew up his Instagram account from something like 300,000 to 1 million followers in 6 months or something crazy. And he did it through the power of influencer marketing. So when he had, say, 100,000 followers, he would go to people with 200, 300,000 followers and say, hey, let's do a share for share or a like for like, or can I put one of my posts up on your page? And you can put one of your posts on my page and that sort of stuff. So that's as simple as influencer marketing can be. You can get very ninja, and there's a lot of people actually making a fortune out of being influencers online, especially on things like Instagram. So people who have amassed large followings, like 100,000 to 1 million followers, they obviously have a lot of attention. So they'll put a post out, and there's a potential for, if they have 1 million followers, it's something like 50% of people on Instagram would see it, which is crazy. That's 500,000 people you could get in front of. And I have heard of stories of people asking, for example, someone wanted to sell something to the basketball niche, and it was something around shoes. They went and found someone with a very basketball heavy shoe type profile on Instagram with 1 million followers. They reached out and said, "Hey, can I put up a post about my shoes on your Instagram? How much is it to put one up there?" And they said, "It's $60." And they went, "Oh, really? How long does that stay up there for?" And the response was, "Oh, forever. I won't take it down." So for $60, they were allowing you to put your product in front of their 1 million followers, which that is ridiculously cheap. That is crazy cheap. To give you an indication, Facebook has about a $5 per 2,000 views kind of costing model. It's not exactly that simple, but just think of it like that. To take that to 1 million followers, you can imagine how much money that is. So it's definitely great value. All right, how do you find out a little bit more about where the competition or someone you want to models traffic and things like that is coming from? You can go and jump onto similarweb.com, especially for popular sites. It will give you great insight for your marketing on finding out where existing traffic is coming from. It'll even break down where the sources are. If it's coming from referrals, that means other people are sending traffic there on purpose. If they're getting stuff from traffic, from Google traffic, from searching, direct means they're obviously got existing customers. Social media, and email marketing, things like that as well. All right, the next step in your marketing is to find out what these customers' pains are. Now, you may know your market. If you don't, the best way to understand about them and what you can do to help them is to ask them, survey them. In all of our, when we first kicked off our I guess responses or customer service, automated customer service type stuff with our e-commerce store, we had the confirmation emails and things like that going out to our customers. Now, I took great pride in putting some humanness into those. So we had things like, "Hi, this is a real person on the other side of this. We are a small business. If there's anything at all we can do to help you, please hit reply and let us know." Really simple stuff. Instead of the bog standard out of the box stuff, which is, "Here is your receipt. Thanks. Thanks for your order. Please order again soon." We found great responses from that. We've had people email back and say, "Wow, I didn't realize someone was, sitting back here and actually emailing us one-on-one, and this is great, and glad to know that you're there," all that sort of stuff. So asking your customers what they want is extremely powerful. And the second part to that is how they describe their problem as well. So take note of the words they use, the language they use, because you can use this later to help offer that solution back to them. If you use the words that they said to you, that what their problem was, it's going to be much more palatable for them to receive that from you. Now, if you're just starting out and you don't have customers yet, there is a hack for this. You can jump onto Amazon.com. Now, this may not work for every single niche, but it certainly works for physical products. And funnily enough, it certainly works for a lot of services as well. Let me explain. If you have let's say you look after people's email lists, you help them build email lists, you want to find out what the customer's pain points around that are, you can still use Amazon.com. You can actually go and search books on email marketing. and see what people in the 3-star review are saying. So there's a book on email marketing, and the 3-star review might say, I found this book great in this area and this area and this area, but I found it extremely lacking in the really important part, which was, how do I find an email service provider? So there you go. There's the first thing that you could write about. How do you find the best email service provider? All right, let's jump into social media marketing. Do I need to be on Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, Anchor, blah, 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 blah. Insert new social media platform here. The simple answer is yes. The detailed answer is, where is your customer? And how much time do you have? So I know that I can make a difference to both my audiences, whether it's my nutrition business or my startup businesses. I can make a difference to a lot of people if I spend time on Snapchat. Now, I deliberately said the word spend time. I don't have time to spend on Snapchat, so I don't spend time on Snapchat. However, I do spend an inordinate amount of time on Facebook. I actually have a Facebook newsfeed eradicator on my PC, so I don't see all of the crap, but I do spend a lot of time on there doing business development, talking to people, creating connections and contacts, sharing information and that sort of stuff. So yes, I do spend time on Facebook. Twitter, not so much. Instagram, I have a renewed vigor with, due to what I was talking about before with the influencer marketing. I find the ROI extremely important when it comes down to what am I going to spend my time on, because all of these platforms can provide fantastic ROI at scale for your marketing, either cheap, free, and getting more expensive. So they can definitely provide you an ROI. And I'm seeing that Instagram, I have a renewed vigor in Instagram. I spent the best part of a year and a half growing our business, growing our following on there. I have around 10,000 followers on our e-commerce store. From a while back, I spent some time in there. I haven't spent a lot of time in there. But I am finding that we are getting really good sales coming through there, and I haven't been spending time there. So I am going to spend some time doing some influencer marketing on that to grow that from 10 to 30, 50 and beyond. So that's going to be my focus. But it really depends on your niche and how much time you've got to spend. Are you naturally comfortable in front of the camera? Then definitely Snapchat, Facebook Live, and Instagram stories. They are absolutely killing it. The ROIs are through the roof still. Hasn't been ruined by marketers yet. Definitely. So every road looks good till you know which one they're going down. So social media, what's hot right now? We talked about Snapchat. I'm bullish on Facebook Live, and I don't spend enough time doing it. I have done a few. I had some issues with my previous phone, so I think I did 3 in a row and they all got deleted. So I had a 3-part series, day 1, day 2, day 3. I got to the end of day 1 and it died. I got to the end of day 2 and it died halfway through, and I got to the end of day 3 and it didn't save. So my experiences with Facebook Live myself, I found the actual events quite good. It's just the after sales service was terrible. But I have seen and helped other businesses with their Facebook Lives, and they have had exponential results for them. One business in particular was a small network marketing business from someone in the East Coast of Australia, was spending a lot of time doing posts, doing helpful articles. She was doing articles on her blog on Facebook. She had a Facebook group going. She was basically, I think she was doing 2 or 3 posts a day, detailed posts on everything from mindset to kids to health to recipes, all that sort of stuff. And I think she had about 500 followers on Facebook or something like that. I asked her when she was going to start doing Facebook Lives because she's going to look at doing webinars for her business. She completely freaked out. I said, there's no way I could do that. I issued her a challenge, and within a week, she'd done 3, and I think she was at 2,000 followers in a week. And she'd been doing this other stuff for years. And it really, I mean, she was doing really well and making a difference to these 500 people that were following along, and she was definitely helping them out. But within a week, she 4 times her business just by hitting the red button on Facebook and going live. She was talking about the same stuff. It took her way less time to do, and it's getting so much more engagement. As I said, Instagram, still good. The marketers are definitely heading in there, I think, with Instagram adding features that are similar to Snapchat, like stories and sort of vanishing content and things like that. I think Instagram has a very, very big shot at being the biggest attention grabber again. They killed it in 2015. I think 2017 is going to be there because of influencer marketing, because of the amount of attention that is already on Instagram, the fact that it's tied directly to Facebook. I think it's going to be huge this year. All right. Finally, let's talk paid traffic. How do we get off the ground from 0 to 1? This is the $50 experiment. Basic, really simple paid ad experiment that I run on pretty much everything, on my businesses, on my ideas, on my customers' ideas, my clients who are running validation experiments. They're trying to launch a new thing. I pretty much do this experiment with all of them. Really simple numbers. If you can take $50, put it through a marketing machine, get in front of 2,500 people, get 250 clicks, which is 10%, and 10% of those to actually convert and sign up. A typical email list is $1 per customer per month. So the $50 experiment could potentially give you an ROI of 2 months. Does that make sense? I hope so. So this is a really simple experiment. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. So this is one I ran for actually a network marketing. I've spoken a lot about network marketing tonight. I don't do a lot of network marketing, by the way. So the experiment I ran was when I first kicked this network marketing business off. I wanted to prove to myself and to my wife that this was going to be viable, because we really, 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 really love the products, and I didn't want to pay for them. So that's basically why I did this. We had a product that was awesome. We knew would sell. I knew how to sell it. I knew the market. But I didn't want to do any of the network marketing stuff. So what I wanted to do was build an automated sales funnel that I could pop some dollars in the top, get in front of the right people, get them to join this email list, and then I could follow them up to push them to make this sale. So see, I mentioned automated emails, and affiliate sales. I don't have any product. I don't have any website. I don't have any picking, packing, shipping labels, follow-up, customer service. I don't have anything to do with this business. All I need to do is get this simple funnel working, and then I could scale it out. So I have a $50 budget at the start to see if I could make this offer compelling and see that I could get the right people in front of it. So this was the 1 week experiment, 5-day experiment. You'll see that I was aiming for 25 and I only got 15. I was aiming for 2,500 people with my $50, and I got pretty close, 2,000. I think it was 2,200 in the end. So I took the screenshot at the end. You'll see that this top bar is conversions, and you'll see that it trended down. Then around about here, the cost was going up and the conversions were going down. But around about here, the conversions went back up and the cost went back down. And that was the end where Facebook turned it off and said, so I'm finished. Here's your results. Now, obviously, this is the part where Facebook had worked itself out, knew what it was going to be doing. And I was pretty close to my mark. So I obviously went and turned this back on again. So we ended up with, after the first 7 days, 208 visitors, 46 contacts, and a 22% conversion rate on this really simple one-page landing page and a thank you page. That was it. And obviously, the fortune, thank you, Pat Flynn, is in the follow-up. We connected this to a really simple Trello board to be able to monitor these customers and follow them up. So this was I guess the end goal of having all of these customers and buyers. In network marketing, we turn buyers into sellers as well so that we can take residual from them as well. So we ended up having some sellers out of that as well. It definitely worked. All right. As I said, this is day 5 in the 7-day rapid startup process. We do have the whole course you can grab at rapidexecutive.com/launch. It'll actually take you back to lesson 1. All of these lessons in one spot, all of the show notes in there, all of the resources are in a simple place. You can access them all and you can get them all and watch them all on your own time. All right, quick recap from marketing in 2017. We talked about how to build out your website and your funnels for these, what we can do with content and how you can break down traffic that already exists. The fortune, as I said, is in the follow-up. Now, I have not many. I think I've got 2 of my coaching spots left at the moment, which means I probably have about 3 or 4 free sessions. If you guys want to chat with me about your business, we can talk about marketing, we can talk about websites, we can talk about your idea or anything to do with business at all. Grab a spot in my diary, rapidstartup.io/coaching, and you can grab a 15-minute session with me. If you want to get real about your business and really take it to the next level, then you can grab me as an accountability coach for you. So I do offer these plans. They start around $397 a month, but you can get a monthly package with me. I'll give you all of the website funnels that you saw tonight. I'll also go through a ideation, website review, marketing strategy, wherever you're up to with your business as part of that as well. And you can jump on one of those at rapidstartup.io/coaching tonight for only $197. And that is available on that page up until, I think, midnight tonight. You can grab one of those. And then next week, guys, we are talking about the detailed marketing. So we're going to go into sales funnels. We're going to blurry. We're going to go into a little bit more about tracking, the Facebook pixel and all that sort of stuff as well, how you can build out what's called a Facebook funnel as well. We talk about tracking and how you can track people and then take them back through and remarket to them as well. We do a bit of copywriting stuff as well on next week's session. I do like that. It's my in-between episode between 5 and 6. We get into metrics and then launch. So we'll be launching in about 3 weeks. As I said, if you are in a rush to get your business up and running, grab a coaching session with me. And you can also grab rapidexecutive.com/launch if you want to go right from day 1 all the way through and go through the launch of our last session as well. All right, I have gone over this week. I do apologize, guys. I do have to jump off and jump onto the junglebooster.com session where we're going to be talking about all things Amazon FBA and Amazon brands, physical products, e-commerce, that sort of stuff. So we'll jump off onto there. I will leave the chat box open for a little bit longer. So if you do have any questions on tonight's session, leave them in the chat box at rapidexecutive.com/live or the replay, rapidexecutive.com/replay, and jump down on the Facebook comments down the bottom because they'll be direct to me no matter what time it is when you're watching this in the replay. right, guys, have a great week. I do have an announcement for next week. We will be doing, as I said, the technical marketing, but we've actually joined forces with a new meetup that's happening here in Perth, and that's a sales funnels meetup. So we're going to talk about all things ClickFunnels as well. So I'm going to do a bit of a joint session on that next week. So when we're talking about all things tracking, I'm going to show you some really cool stuff you can do with ClickFunnels around tracking and follow-up sequences, upsells, and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to cover that off on next week's session. So rapidexecutive.com/live next week. If you want to be reminded about that, make sure you've signed up at rapidexecutive.com/webinar. All right, guys, have a great week. Great to see you as always. Say hi in the chat box, and I'll see you all next week.